Pokemon Platinum, long regarded as one of the best Pokemon games ever. I have fond memories of my original Platinum playthrough. I downloaded an emulator on my mom's phone and would play it all the time, but kept on losing progress because mobile emulators weren't exactly good at that time. That's when I got a laptop and things changed. This is gonna be Pokemon Platinum with my original team and also a refresher on the story and events of the game. Let's do this. Let's turn off the TV and what is this dude doing in my room? Get your ass out of here. Anyway, his name is not Sub because if you are not subscribed, you are the enemy. We make it to the tall grass and right before we get mutilated by wild goons, Professor Rowan shows up and hits us with the question, why aren't you subscribed to the Random Shanjay channel? I post content based on Pokemon and other smaller creature catching games like Lumion Legacy and Tales of Tenorio. Make sure to click that subscribe button and like the video as it helps me out a ton. It's time for the starter selection. The Sinnoh starters are a very interesting topic for me because Torterra is my favorite, but Infernape is just so good in Sinnoh, hence why I picked Chimchar. I have my first rival fight as Chimchar takes down the Piplup. I tell my mom what happened and headed to the lake where I see Cyrus for the first time. I head to the professor's lab next as I got to name my Chimchar Ludicrous. I tell my mom that I'm going on a journey and make my way to Jubilife. On my way, I catch a Starly who I name Arya and a Shinx who I name Turquoise. North of Jubilife, I also caught a Badoo who I name Bree. I know you guys are probably thinking, wow, what an original team. Well, Platinum was my first Sinnoh game and these Pokemon are really cool, man. East of Jubilife, I battle and defeat my rival again and make my way to Oreburgh City. I tell Rogue to get his ass back in the gym and right before the gym fight, I evolve Chimchar into a Monferno and Starly into a Staravia. Ludicrous would be the MVP of the fight as he would take down all of Rogue's Pokemon with a couple of Mach Punches. The Cold Badge is mine. I head back to Jubilife City where two Galactic Grunts were trying to run up on the Professor and Dawn, but I come to save the day and defeat them. I head north to get to Floaroma Town and go east to get stopped by this little girl. Her dad got kidnapped by Team Galactic at the Valley Windworks. I catch another team member and my water type for this region, Uzi the Shellos. I beat the Galactic Goon at the entrance of the Windworks and once he locks me out, I locate some stray Galactic Goons in Floaroma threatening this guy, and once I defeat them, I get a Works Key which I use to enter the facility. Inside, I face the infamous Commander Mars and a vile Purugly. Thankfully, Staravia is able to intimidate the Purugly, with its attack no longer being threatening to us. Monferno comes in to beat the Purugly. With Mars defeated, this little girl is reunited with her dad. Very wholesome. Trekking through Eterna Forest with Cheryl, she gives me the Soothe Bell which is crucial if I want to get my Badoo's friendship up quick. Finally making it to Eterna City, I make a beeline towards the gym and let's just say it was more difficult than it needed to be. Right before I take on Gardenia though, Shinx evolves into a Luxio. Now let's talk about the battle. Staravia leads on her Turtwig and takes it down fairly easily with a wing attack. The Sheriff that comes in requires 2 wing attacks to take down, but more importantly, it gets off a Leech Seed on Staravia. Roserade comes in, paralyzes my Staravia, and heals back with her Citrus Berry, putting Staravia in a tough spot. I switch in Monferno to unleash a devastating Flame Wheel to defeat Gardenia, but a Grass Gym had no right being as difficult as it was. Just give me the damn Forest Badge. My rival takes me to see the statue of Dialga and Palkia conjoined into one. We see Cyrus out and about talking about creating a new world and things of that nature, and as he leaves, my rival hits me with the most profound statement. I think I might cry, guys. Always hit my moves and dodge enemy attacks to win a battle. Exquisite. I meet Cynthia and she gives me the Cut HM which allows me to infiltrate the Eterna building and come head to head with Commander Jupiter. She leads with Zubat as I lead with my Luxio. Luxio takes down the Zubat and comes face to face with Skuntank. I switch Luxio out for Staravia for an Intimidate and Luxio back in for another Intimidate, bringing it down to -2 defense. Monferno comes in and finishes up the job no problem. She retreats as the guy thanks us for saving him and tells me to drop by the bicycle shop. Cynthia gives me a Togepi egg right before I claim my very own bike. I go down Cycling Road and while going through Mount Coronet, I just see Cyrus out and about. Again, he does that a lot. I make my way to Hearthome, pick up my final team member Sharpie, the Eevee, and head to the contest hall where I meet my mom again, but also tell Fantina to get back to work. And yeah, it's time for Fantina. Luxio leads for me and takes down her Duskull no problem, and then Mismagius comes in. That's a problem. I don't know why I thought I should switch into Staravia, but I did and Staravia immediately goes down. Luxio also goes down and now Monferno has some work to do. A Flame Wheel takes down the Mismagius, but her final Pokemon Haunter overpowers Monferno and takes it down. I tried paralyzing it with Badoo, but well, Badoo is kinda maybe fragile. Anyway, Shellos comes in already being weakened from the gym fights and saves the team from a defeat. It lifts Shadow Claw on 4 HP and his first Water Pulse not only doing decent damage but also confusing it. Haunter hits himself in confusion and another Water Pulse gets me out of this fight without a loss and a badge. The Relic badge to be specific. Upon exiting Hardhome, my rival challenges me to a fight and well, it's not much of a contest. Until we get to Prinplup, who takes down Luxio. It's okay, it's fine, you know, the water type taking down the electric type. Yeah, that's fine. Badoo comes in and stalls it with Mega Drain, healing, and wins the fight. I head to Salacion and my rival gives me probably the dumbest HM known to mankind, the Fog. If a route is affected by Fog, which is, to my knowledge, only one singular route, moves have a accuracy reduction, which is super annoying. Thankfully, my scary bird has the move Aerial Ace, which literally cannot miss. That's the gimmick of the move. So, yeah. Some Psyduck are blocking the path north, so I head east and manage to find myself at Veilstone somehow. Once again, I make a beeline to the gym where I meet Dawn and Crasher Wake talking about stuff, you know, battling, strong, Pokedexes, things of that nature. Anyways, I beat the gym trainers, during which Uzi evolved into an assault rifle, Turquoise become less I wanna pat its head, and more unleash terror and make sure no one survives. Also, Badoo feels loved, so yeah, let's battle Maylene. Staravia leads to take down Meditite as she switches in her Machoke. I deal a lot of damage to Machoke, but a Rock Tomb takes Staravia down. Luxray comes in for the revenge kill, and feeling overpowered by the Lucario, I switch into Monferno and realize I made a terrible decision. Monferno dies, and yeah, it's kinda my fault. But Gastrodon comes in for the revenge kill. Yeah, you know what? I had that planned out. I had that planned out. Yeah. We don't talk about it anymore. I'll take that Cobble badge. Don pulls up and is like, so, remember we have Pokedexes? Well, I don't anymore. Please help me. Bye. Okay, Don, you suck. I help her get back her Pokedex from the Galactic Grunts, survey the building they were guarding with Looker, and attain the Fly gem. Remember Crasher Wake? You know, the one that we saw outside of the Veilstone gym? It's his gym next. While traveling to Pastoria, Staravia evolves into Staraptor and learns how to throw hands. Right outside Wake's gym, my rival challenges me to a fight and it doesn't go very well. For him. My rival loses as Wake shows up and is like, I am not your master, kid. Chill the fuck out. Monferno also evolves into an Infernape and also learns how to throw hands. By throwing hands, I mean learning close combat if you didn't already get that. The battle with Wake is a little tricky. Luxray takes down the elite Gyarados while Roselia takes down Quagsire. Floatzel was a major problem as it took both Staraptor and Infernape to throw hands to get the victory. Fen badge acquired, and what's this? The swamp at Pastoria might blow. Damn, it blew up. I chased down the guy who planted the bomb, and after all that running, he only has one Pokemon. That's so tragic. They trusted this guy with the bomb. At this point, you're high up in the world, buddy. Well played. I talk with Cynthia for a moment as she explains the lore about the Lake Trio, and then my rival shows us and is like, is this your big sister? This guy is stupid. We live in the same town. You would know if I had siblings. Also, she's literally the champion of your region, so the fact that you don't recognize her is crazy. We gotta take away his Sinonian citizenship, cause Blood does not know what is essentially like the president of the region. I got to get to Celestic Town next, and to do that, I need the Psyduck to scram. I used the secret potion to get Psyduck to clear up, and might have summoned Cynthia. She was probably doing her job at the league, and all of a sudden she sensed I used the secret potion and showed up. She tells me to give the old charm to her grandmother. I was feeling great today, just playing some Pokemon, having some fun, But for some reason Pokemon were like, nah, screw you, and included a fog route, which is super annoying. Thankfully, I made it to Celestic, meet Cynthia's grandma, and explore the Celestic ruins. We was about to have an informative day, but Cyrus shows up and battles me, which is cool. I beat him because he doesn't have any fully evolved Pokemon. I deliver the old charm to Cynthia's grandmother. She gives me the HM for Surf in return, and right as I exit the cave, Cynthia shows up. And I'm like, why? You could have flown here yourself, but instead you tasked me to go through the fog. And a matter of fact, you could have destroyed Cyrus and apprehended him. But hey, if it was for any other champion, I would crash out. But since it's Cynthia, I'ma let it slide. For no particular reason. You know, she can tell me what to do. It's alright. Anyways, I get Surf, get to Canalave City where my rival challenges me to a fight. And oh wait, did I leak the script? Because it says here I won, which I did. I head to Iron Island, team up with Riley, beat up some galactic grunts, but the real payoff here is that I got the shiny stone. So say hello to Breather Roserade. Next up is the gym fight with Byron, and it went with zero issues. I led with Gastrodon, but he led with Magneton with Levitate, so ground type moves don't affect it. Minor misstep as Infernape tags it, defeats the Magneton, and as Byron brings out his Steelix, Gastrodon makes its return, hits it with a Mud Bomb, hits his Ace Bastiodon with a Mud Bomb, and I win the fight. As I said, zero issues, Mind Badge acquired. I head to Canalave Library to talk with Professor Rowan, Dawn, and Not Sub, but suddenly, out of nowhere, there is a very audible explosion coming from the Three Lakes, and Dawn, Not Sub, and I are tasked with dealing with it. I head to Lake Valor and I am confronted by Commander Saturn, who laments about Jupiter failing to take me down, and literally in under a minute gets decimated by yours truly. Jupiter might be evil, but I will also do what she tells me to do, again with no reason at all. I head to Lake Valor to help out Dawn and challenge Commander Mars, and man, I hate that Perugly as it takes out Infernape. I'm not even going to comment on it. Staraptor cleans up as I defeat her and she runs off. Since I'm literally speed intensified, I go help out Natsab as well. I track my way through the snow, meeting Maylene along the way, collect the Rock Climb HM, find the Ice Rock, evolve my Eevee into a Glaceon. Trust me, this is totally not just for the singular purpose to defeat a certain Dragon Ground type. No, not at all. I make it to Snow Point City first because you need the gym badge before using Rock Climb outside of battle. Face to face with Candace, I lead with Infernape, and let's just say Ludicrous was on a mission. Mach Punch to the face, done. Close combat to take down the Piloswine, done. Despite double teaming twice, Infernape was stroking that thing as he did not miss and takes down the Frostlass and Abomasnow. Well, it got a bit too warm. Icicle badge acquired, and hold on, is my rival still at Lake Acuity with Jupiter? Either I'm the Flash or he's just slow as hell. All of that time for what? Because he lost. Jupiter didn't have to try to fight me because she did her job. She tells me not to drop by Veilstone HQ, so guess what I did? I actually went to Mount Coronet first because I totally forgot about heading to Veilstone first. That's my bad. Anyhow, I infiltrate the basement, get the Galactic Key, and watch Cyrus deliver his speech.
I am the hope of the universe! I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. I am protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness. I am truth.
I make my way to Cyrus's office unannounced because I'm him, and well, he challenges me to a fight. I win the fight, but I want to highlight the fact that the whole reason he wants to create a new world for himself because he feels that emotions like compassion and friendship are a sign of weakness. Yet, he has a Crobat which evolved from Golbat due to high friendship. From this, I can conclude that Cyrus was bullied as a kid. I head to the room where the Lake Guardians are imprisoned, beat Saturn again, free the Lake Guardians, and for real this time, make the trek up Mount Coronet. Now I won't lie, this arduous trek only really took me a few minutes. Right before reaching Cyrus, Mars and Jupiter tried to jump me, but Not Sub helps me out and takes them down with me. Cyrus tries to use the red chain and well, all hell breaks loose. Literally. Giratina snatches up Cyrus into the distortion world and casually leaves a hole in space-time. Cynthia and I jump in, and I just want to say that it's criminal that there isn't more content in the distortion world. It's such an iconic location that players never get to revisit, not in Platinum, not in Legends Arceus, not in any other Sinnoh game. What would players do in the distortion world? I got no clue myself, but if we could figure something out, that would be great. The Lake Guardians helped me figure out the strength puzzle as I finally stand face to face with Cyrus for a final decisive fight. I lead with Gastrodon specifically to counter his lead Houndoom. Once the dog is taken care of, he brings out his Gyarados. Luxray could obliterate it, but Gyarados is faster and has Earthquake. To counter this, I switch Luxray and Staraptor in repeatedly to intimidate it multiple times, crushing its attack stat. Luxray comes in, tanks an Earthquake, and takes down the Gyarados. The rest of the battle was simply 1v1 matchups, notably Infernape taking down Weavile, Glaceon taking down the Crobat, and Staraptor taking down the Honchkrow. After Cyrus is defeated, he runs off. I used the Master Ball on Giratina and named it Twinkle Star because I felt like it, and headed back to Sandgem Town to meet up with Professor Rowan and Dawn. I saved the universe, so it's only right I become the champion next. I only have one more hurdle left, which is to defeat the last gym leader Volkner. Just as I make it to Sunyshore, an Elite 4 member by the name of Flynn bumps into me. He's able to deduce that I'm pretty strong and looking to get my last badge, and tells me about Volkner, who is always constantly bored because there is no one strong enough to challenge him. I'm about to change that. I head to the lighthouse so I can get Volkner to get back to his gym and do his job, and this kinda parallels Jasmine from the Johto games where the protagonist is supposed to go to the lighthouse and save the Ampharos and get Jasmine back to her gym. Well, enough talk because I have an electric gym leader to ground. He leads with his Jolteon as I lead with Gastrodon. Gastrodon matches well against Volkner due to its bulk and decent damage output. With that being said, it's able to beat Jolteon, Raichu, and Electivire with no close calls. I definitely believe it at least could have gotten a single Mud Bomb off on Luxray, but Luxray outspeeds and defeats Gastrodon. I brought out my own Luxray for a Luxray standoff, but his Luxray just did more damage, so I got Infernape to clean things up. By no means a well-fought battle, but we got the job done. I finally set my sights on the league as Not Sub and I share a friendly exchange. All that context I spoke about Jasmine just now was just to foreshadow her appearance in Sinnoh as she helps me by giving me the Waterfall HM. I trek through Victory Road no problem and enter the Pokemon League. Just at the gate, Not Sub challenges me to a final battle. I lead with Luxray as he leads with Staraptor. We both get our Intimidates off, but he U-turns out and gets the Snorlax onto the field. As a response, I bring in my own Staraptor. A combination of return and close combat is enough for Snorlax to go down. He brings in Heracross, but it is no match for my Infernape as it is incinerated by a flamethrower. His Staraptor returns to the field and the next turn my Luxray comes out as well. He's just not keen to fight my Luxray, so he U-turns into Rapidash. My Gastrodon switches in and takes down the Rapidash. His Roserade is dispatched by my Glaceon and his Empoleon is taken down by a close combat from Infernape. His Staraptor, being his last Pokemon, switches in and ironically takes down my Luxray because of the accumulated damage from constantly switching Luxray in. It doesn't change the outcome of the fight at all because Gastrodon comes in and takes down his Staraptor with a Rock Slide. It was nice knowing you, Not Sub. Hopefully he subscribes now, just like all of you should. So yeah, click the sub button, please. So I'm going to introduce the team. This is Turquoise the Luxray with Crunch, Bite, Discharge, and Spark. Next up we have Uzi the Gastrodon with Rock Slide, Earthquake, Body Slam, and Surf. We have Breedy Roserade with Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Peldencer, Sludge Bomb. Next up we have Arya the Staraptor with Brave Bird, Fly, Return, and Close Combat. Next up we have Ludicrous the Infernape with Flamethrower, Mach Punch, Close Combat, and Shadow Claw. And last but not least we have Sharpie the Glaceon with Ice Beam, Ice Fang, Bite, and Quick Attack. Aaron was a total pushover. Staraptor beat his lead Yanmega, Gastrodon crushes his Drapion, and Staraptor comes back and shows Heracross and Vespiquen who runs the shit. And well, Scizor took some fire to the face. Bertha was slightly more challenging not because of her own prowess per se, but my own negligence. My Roserade lead counters her Whiscash and Glaceon runs his Fade on Gliscor. Golem would have been dispatched by Roserade, but I clicked Sludge Bomb accidentally, so Roserade went down to Golem's attacks. Not my proudest moment, but hey, Gastrodon comes in to beat Golem and Hippopotas, and Staraptor cleans up by punching Rhyperior really hard. Flint was more of an inconvenience than a challenge because Gastrodon, while beating his lead Houndoom, got Solar Beam to the face and died, and so as a result, Staraptor and Infernape decided to hit them really hard. And yeah, on to Lucian, and what a fight it was. I did not have anything for Psychic types and it showed. Luxray leads to take out Mr. Mime, and I did not want Infernape to get Earthquake in the switch, so I let Luxray go down so that Infernape could have an easy kill. Infernape is able to do some massive damage on the Espeon with Shadow Claw, but it's just shy of a KO and Psychic takes him out. Staraptor is able to pick up a double kill on Espeon and Gallade, but it is outsped by Alakazam and knocked out. Gastrodon gets a mean energy ball to the face, and Roserade just isn't gonna beat an Alakazam. Glaceon comes in and oh boy, he misses a Focus Blast and I get a freeze with Ice Fang. He full restores and Ice Beam deals big damage again. Alakazam hits his Focus Blast this time and Glaceon survives with 19 HP and finishes the job. What a fight. One more fight left, the nightmare-inducing Cynthia. I led with Gastrodon as she famously leads with her Spiritomb. After a couple of attacks back and forth, she could have taken down my Gastrodon, but she switches into her Roserade. This y'all goat? I switch into Infernape, incinerate her plant as her Milotic comes out. I bring out Gastrodon to tank a hit so I can get a clean switch to Roserade. I know her Milotic has Ice Beam, but I'm confident with Leech Seed I'm able to tank at least 2. My prediction was right, as I tanked Ice Beam really well and finished off her Water Snake with 2 Giga Drains. I let Roserade go down to her Togekiss so that Luxray can come in and electrocute it. And then her Garchomp came out. I don't know why, but suddenly I had goosebumps. I let Luxray fall for the clean switch into Glaceon. All Glaceon had to do was tank a Flamethrower. She pulled through as her Garchomp went down in one hit. I let Glaceon go down to her Lucario solely because Infernape can revenge kill it with close combat. And when Infernape went down to Spiritomb Psychic, my Staraptor laid the finishing touches to a well-fought fight. Cynthia has been conquered. Pokemon Platinum has been conquered. I edged my team and I into the Hall of Fame, and well, until the next video, goodbye.